Okay, thanks for coming on such short notice this afternoon. On behalf of Big SUPSU, NAPB, Police Union, and ABVO, we welcome you to this setting. Today we held a general membership meeting with police civil servants. This general meeting was held with regards to the reorganization of the police force that to date is long overdue. Today, 2.5 years later, the police force have not been structurally reorganized, meaning the police force do not have a legal established status in country St. Martin. Documents received to date from the ministry in the week of March 12th of this year, 2013, pertaining to this reorganization for perusal are incomplete. It is not acceptable that to date a metrics planned, job description for police officers, a placement planned, their salary scales, and a legal position document for them have not been completed. As unions, we have the opinion that the Chief Commissioner of Police, Mr. Peter De Witte, and the Minister of Justice, Mr. Roland Duncan, are not handling the business of police, of this police department. Their attitude, action with regard to reorganization are unorthodox and are left for interpretation. In the meantime, an audience have been requested via correspondence with the Prime Minister, Mrs. Sarah Westcott Williams, and the President of Parliament, Mr. Rudolph Samuel, with regards this issue on the 24th of April 2013. To date, no response.
Now, that's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how many correspondents did you have before today?
We had several correspondents. Really to mention the exact amount, but when I say several, I mean more than 5 or 6 correspondents we had with this ministry with regard to this issue. Sometimes you feel that there may be another agenda that this reorganization cannot take place, notwithstanding 5 implementation managers were attached or are attached to the Commissioner of Police.
Now, during the last Parliament meeting, the Minister of Justice made a very extensive presentation on the status of the police force. One of the things that was mentioned is that we signed a decree making more, well, at least having 3 extra police detectives coming to help the police force. Did you take any note of the presentation that took place by the Minister?
We took note of the presentation, but that does not mean that the reorganization is really taking place. Mind you, there is a so-called Voorgangscommissie that monitors, that is placed as checks and balance to monitor this reorganization. We as union would ask ourselves, people or government really paying attention to what's happening in the police force when these kind of presentations are made and accepted?
And that's what I was just going to ask you, because we had knowledge of the recent report by that committee. However, it wasn't made public because it was sensitive information regarding the police structure and so on. But one of the things that we heard about in the report was that, of course, the staff is another thing, and also the promotions, and is that some of the things that the police force is also fighting with?
Mind you, we are disciplined people, so we never sought to really fight our battles via the media. But when all means have been exhausted, it leaves you no choice than to really make this public. I don't think after 2.5 years there's so much lacking in the police force structurally. If the public don't know what's going on, they will be of the opinion that all is well. All is not well.
The general sentiments of your membership, what are some of the biggest frustrations between the officers right now that you can mention?
One of the biggest frustrations now is the fact that there is no implementation plan ready. So no one here has no position officially, legally, in the new system, in the new country. And nothing else can move as long as those things are not put in place. Something as simple as that everyone has to have their own position in the police, that their own function, and that is not regulated as yet. So that's the main frustration, and nothing can move until those things are in place. So the laws follows each other. So one have to go for the other ones to move on.
But isn't it frustrating that after the minister says that since 10-10-10, the police force have gotten this and have gotten that, and I mean many things that were mentioned in the recent parliament meeting, that the police force actually strengthened and is much better than before.
Okay, mind you, we are not saying that we have not received any material or things. We are talking about reorganization. When you're talking about reorganization, there have to be certain documents in place. It's just like if you're building a house, if there's no foundation, how would you put on the roof? And that's how, look, you have to look at it in the broader sense, in this context. Not only would membership have financial consequences because of what's going on, also careers, promotion, and you name it. So it has a big picture. It's not something simple that we are just squabbling about. We are talking, we want our status properly legalized. 2.5 years have gone.
And so ultimatum time.
We requested a meeting for 24th of April, that's tomorrow. We have not gotten a response. Tomorrow we'll cross that bridge.
And for what time was the meeting scheduled?
We left that venue and place to be determined by, those before the honor by the Prime Minister and the President of Parliament. They determine the time and venue. They have not responded. We know that people receive it, because if you look at the email, you know they receive your correspondence. So we, transparency, good governance, you should answer.
Last question: how far is the police union willing to go?
We say when we reach that hurdle tomorrow, we'll cross that.